Welcome back to I've Got Something to Tell You with Taylor and
Colleen.
We're back to our usual setting. I just stole your line.
It's going to be an unhinged episode, I think.
We don't know how to act because we haven't recorded here in a long time.
Yeah.
So give us a break.
We forgot how to be professional.
We did. We've been having a lot of live shows and then the collabs, and then we recorded like both remotely, so we haven't like been together recording in my house in a long time.
Just us.
So it's fun. It feels cozy. I'm excited.
Same. I've got Copper.
I know. Copper took his usual space.
I feel like he missed.
He did, for sure. So we did something exciting yesterday.
Yeah.
We went to East Valley Paranormal and we made it was a spell making class for candles. And we got to set intentions for our candles and pick out the colors and put like oils and herbs on them. I think I did a white candle, which in my head, I thought it was for protection, but I think it was actually for something else. Because you did a black candle and that was for protection. What'd you put on yours?
For protection? Well, I feel like she was also like the words could mean anything you wanted them to mean. Because like the black candle had like a few different meanings to it from what I remember, but the protection stood out to me. Did that get brighter? Was that in my head?
No, the lamp turned on.
But the black candle for protection, I don't know. I feel like I've had like, we talk about it all the time, like a lot of anxiety and like self-deprecating thoughts and like that kind of thing. So it was almost like protection from myself, if that made sense. What was your white one for?
I kind of feel like just for like meditation and like, you know, I've been doing the tarot reading classes and for doing like readings in general for other people and just like protecting the energy and space around. So that was what my intention for it was. And I don't remember exactly what the real one was, but I think you can put whatever intention you want into anything. And then I also did a green one. And what else did I do?
Did you have a yellow one?
Maybe. You had a yellow one, right?
I know I had a yellow one.
I've got something to type. Oh, purple. That's
purple,
what it was. Yeah.
Purple, yeah.
Yeah, because that was one for intuition. And I mean, I feel like it kind of goes hands in hand. Hands in hand. Wait.
Hands everywhere.
All the hands. Throw in some jazz hands, too. Anyway, it goes with the tarot readings. But yeah. And then you did the pink one and then the yellow one, right? Yeah. The pink one was really pretty. And that's why I remembered that. Because I was like, I kind of wanted that one. But we only got to pick 3. I'm like, only? That's like so many candles.
So many candles. But yeah. And then the pink one was love, which I was just kind of the same thing with the black one. Like love, it was more like for myself.
Yeah.
Maybe this makes me sound selfish. Maybe I should.
No, I feel like it's really real. I think a lot of people, I mean, I feel that way too. Yeah. I feel like that was a good one.
Yeah. And then the yellow was like joy because like I feel like I'm trying to focus on like finding all of the silver linings and things. So it was just like a reminder of that. Like, but yeah, those are the candles I picked. Why'd you pick purple? Or more of the tarot card?
Yeah, like because I think it was mostly intuition, that type of thing. I think that's what all the other words were. And I feel like that's something like I always actively work on. And not just for like tarot, but also just like trusting my own gut feelings. Because a lot of times I would get in my head and be like, not trusting my own judgment. And I feel like ever since I worked on that, it's a lot easier to be
like not no, second guessing.
Yeah.
And then your green one.
The green one was me selfishly asking for more money and abundance. I know she said there was like, I think the other meaning for it was like prosperity. But she was like, you could also just draw dollar signs on it. I was like, I'm drawing the dollar signs. Yeah. Who doesn't love money?
Get it. Get you them dollar
real. Exactly. So yeah, it was really fun. Highly recommend to go sign up for a class. We love them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're amazing. Like was awkward. And so, do you remember?
I love it though.
So
Because it doesn't come across awkward. It's just like funny.
but inside thoughts become outside thoughts. And Michelle was the one that was leading it.
Mhm.
And she was like, I need to listen to the full interview with you guys. And I was like, I listen to it like every day. And I was like, don't. Now I just sound like a psycho fan, even though
I was like, wait,
it's
is that why it's one of our most listened episodes?
it's just me.
I mean, a listen is a
They're just-
listen.
They're just so cool that it was like,
No, they really are. That was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Because it was such a cool interview. Like they had so many good stories.
yeah,
They're just really interesting people and their stories really cool in general.
Yeah.
The place we got to film at was so cool inside their museum. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool aspects to it. So I get that.
it was definitely like just, I don't know, one of the like most unforgettable experiences that I feel like we've gotten to. I feel like I have like moments that I remember from like the podcast, which is like our very first episode, like our 1 year anniversary, like our first
Our
live
first
show.
live one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I think about that one a lot.
And then like the interview, just because like we talk about it all the time, but like they just remind me so much of us.
Like our relationship.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
like she even said some stuff and I was like, that's how I feel about, like when she was like, oh, Heather's the good, like the cool one or something like that. I was like, that's how I feel about Taylor.
It was funny even because like I know we were talking about it with Norman, and I think we were asking him who he thought we thought, you know, I could probably say that better, but
Who thought we thought?
Who thought we thought? I'm on a roll today.
Hands and thoughts.
No, but there was just like, I feel like there was a lot of like little things like Michelle would say that would remind me of something you would say. Like you guys had like the same kind of like sense of humor, I think. And I don't know. I feel like it's just because I know you. And so
Yeah.
I like picked it up really quick and I was like, Colleen.
And I feel the same way with like Heather, where it's just like she reminds me so much of Taylor. Like
Which I love that because I love Heather. She's cool.
Yeah. They're both so cool.
They're like, stop talking about it. Just kidding. We can't help it. We just love them.
We just fangirl. We can't do it. We can't stop.
Can't stop. Wants to.
We'll never. This just turns into an East Valley Paranormal fan podcast.
We changed the name.
EVP fans.
They see us walk by and they lock the door. Like, change it to closed.
They have pictures of us and
Don't let these two
don't let these
in.
girls. They'll never stop coming if you let them in.
You have the interview playing on all your screens.
I just keep showing up, like asking them to sign pictures of the form.
It's like a screenshot.
Make shirts.
Okay.
Okay, well, if it wasn't,
Kind of love that.
if it wasn't gonna happen already, it's definitely happening now.
Love it.
Well, yeah, listen to our interview with East Valley Paranormal. It's really cool. And we're not-
Bonus episode, I think 30,
okay,
actually.
cool.
I hope that's right.
Who's to say?
Who's to
ch-
say?
you
Just
can-
Google it.
You can just go change the title
Let me just go change it to 30.
to bonus.
We have like 2 episode 30s. You're right, this episode's gonna be unhinged. Okay, we haven't seen each other
Good luck.
in so long. It's been one day.
I know, honestly. I'm sorry, literally yesterday.
But anyway,
Okay. Let's get down to business.
let's move on. So, who wants to go first? Or is there any other announcements we need to make?
We have a live show coming up in April. It's our we're doing Bottle Shop 48 on Sunday.
Sunday Scare.
Sunday Scaries at 4 p.m.
Uh-huh.
So if you're in the Tempe, Phoenix, Chandler,
Anywhere.
anywhere,
Drive from wherever you want.
yeah, you could honestly go coastal if you want.
We'll allow it.
Yeah. But you're welcome to come to the show.
Yeah.
That's
Please
it.
do.
Yeah, that's all the announcements I have.
Okay, sweet.
I'm done
I
now.
don't have any, so
I have both the dogs though.
they're so excited that you're here.
I'm so excited that they're excited.
Copper's like half laying on you, and he was like staring at me really awkwardly.
And then I can tell Pete wants to come in this cuddle puddle, but
he does. He's gonna bulldoze Copper right out of there at any minute.
Okay, Taylor, I've got something to tell you. And I think you're gonna like this one because it's got a few things I know you enjoy.
Yay.
It's unsolved.
Yes.
It's got lots of theories,
Heck
including
yeah.
some spooky ones. And the name alone is up your alley because tonight I am covering the case of who put Bella in the Wych Elm.
The witch what?
The Wych Elm?
Ooh, okay.
I knew you'd like it. Just on the name alone.
I love that.
Okay, so witch is spelled WYCH. So it's not spelled.
Oh, okay.
You're like, oh, and I'm disappointed.
No, I was spelling it in my head. Not gonna lie. I was like,
but it's a tree.
Okay.
Okay. I will talk about the tree as a key player in this story. Okay, so
suspicious tree.
It's super sus. So we're in England in 1943, and there are 4 boys walking through the forest in this place called Hagley Wood. Their names are Thomas Willett, who was 17, Bob Farmer, which is like the most, if a man could choose a name.
Bob Farmer.
Yeah.
Sounds like a character.
He's 15. And then Fred.
Why does Bob Farmer sound like a 45 or 50-year-old
Yeah,
man?
they come out with a beard.
Yeah. The name's Bob.
Bob Farmer. Not even Robert.
Just Bob.
Okay, I have to move on.
Okay.
He's not that important, so. And then we got Fred Payne, who's 14. And then they have some other boy who apparently nobody bothered to note his name down. Couldn't find it. Who's to say if there were really 4 people? It was 1943. I wasn't there, so. But the important thing is that they were teenagers. There's 4 of them maybe, and they are bored, and they are doing something that they are not supposed to be doing. They're trespassing, and they're basically out there, like in the woods, looking for birds' nests, which at the time often meant taking eggs, which was illegal. So very teenage boy coded. And they are in the mindset at the same time of like, oh, we can't be caught out here. And then, so as they're walking through the woods, they come across this tree. And I need to describe this tree for you.
Okay.
It is a wych elm tree. And this particular one has like a thick, almost swollen looking trunk at the bottom. And then it like twists upwards with these.
Ooh, those ones are cool.
Yeah. And it's got these like branches that like jut out and all like if you could pick a tree to name a wych elm, this is like the quintessential wych elm tree.
Ooh.
Like it looks like a witch made it, which is dope.
Really
as fuck.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in the trunk of the tree, there's this hollow opening, and people sometimes describe it as like a cavity, which I feel like I understood, like, because it's just this like opening, but then it goes really deep into the tree.
Oh, okay.
But so at first glance, you can see that there's an opening, but you don't know how deep it goes. So one of the boys, Bob Farmer, noticing that Bob. He notices a bird fly out of that opening, and he assumes that there's got to be a nest in there. So he wants to go check it out to see if there are eggs. And so he climbs up and he leans into the opening. And at first he can't really see anything because it's dark inside the tree. So he's just kind of like peering in. And then he sees something down there, and he thinks it might be an animal skull. And he's I think he's 17. However old he is. He's a teenage boy. So he's like, skull.
Cool.
Yeah, skulls are dope, dude. And so he calls the other boys over, and they're all like poking at it. And they grab a stick, and they use the stick to like poke at it to lift it up. And they poke it through the eye, and they lift it up towards them. And as they pull it closer, they realize very quickly this is not an animal skull. It is a set of full human teeth.
Ooh.
It has hair. It has like a clump of hair to the side of it. And that's the moment they're like, oh shit. They are now very clearly looking at a human skull.
Yikes.
And as they look further into the tree, they realize that there's more inside. There's definitely additional bones. There's also some objects that they can't truly make out, but they could see down there. But basically just a bunch of stuff that should absolutely not be there.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes very clear that this is not just a skull, it is a whole fucking body inside the tree. They panic because not that they had just found a human body, but because they're trespassing and not supposed to be doing what they're doing. So they drop the skull back into the tree and take off.
I can see that being a kid, though.
Yeah. Like, you're just scared you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because, well, truly, they're only scared because, like, they have been doing something illegal.
The bird's eggs.
The bird's eggs. Don't be taking them bird's eggs. As they're leaving, though, they run into one of the boys' older brothers, and they end up bringing him back to the tree to show him what they found.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks inside, and he's like, yep, that's a body. He also sees the additional bones and the extra items. He also notices that there's a shoe and what appears to be a green glass bottle. So we have now clearly established that this is a body with some shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
Even after that, though, they still don't go to the police. They are still focused on the fact that they are not supposed to be there. So they leave again and they go home and they say nothing. Except Thomas Willett, the oldest of the group, he feels guilty and he's unsettled by what they found. So he tells his parents. And his parents go to the police. And the police are told about this body in a tree in Hagley Wood. And they say, we'll get to it tomorrow.
What?
Yes.
Really? It's already bones.
Yeah. What are we going to do? Save it? They're like, but were there any bird's eggs?
What were they doing in that tree?
Yeah.
I'm more worried about.
So they go out the following day with multiple officers. They locate the tree. And when they examine it, they confirm that there is indeed a body inside of it. And now they got to figure out what they're looking at, because until this point, it's just a body in a tree, and which is already insane. But now they have to answer questions like, okay, who is this? How long have they been there? And what happened?
Yeah.
So they start removing the remains from inside the tree, and the space inside the tree is really tight. So it's not like this person would have or could have gotten themselves in there willingly.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's something investigators noted pretty early on, because it didn't look like someone had just casually placed a body in there. It looked like the body had been stuffed into that space. Like, it's not laying, it's
not like someone was like hiding,
crouching, like it's pushed into that tree and it's pushed down into that like cavity hole.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
Cavity hole is not a word I wanted to use.
Cavity hole.
So they start taking everything out, and they find the few personal items along with the remains. They find pieces of clothing. They find the shoe. Mm-hmm. They also find a ring. Mm-hmm. And I thought this was rude. They described it as a cheap gold ring.
That is very rude.
Rude. And so now they're getting a little bit more context about the person, but still not enough to actually identify them. Then they realize something that makes it even weirder is because not all the remains are there. One of the hands is missing.
Weird.
They later find the hand buried not too far from the tree, and we're going to talk about that later in the theories. But so now the remains are taken out in to be examined, because this is the point where they need to start answering the questions of who is it, how long have they been there, and is there anything that tells us how they died? So the first thing they're able to determine is time. And based on the condition of the remains, they estimate that the person had been dead for over a year, possibly a year and a half. So about 18 months, which means for all that time, this body was there inside that tree where people are just walking through this forest. What is also interesting is nobody would have, it would have smelled, and there would have probably been one of the books and then one of the podcasts that I listened to, a lot of people have covered this story, but they mentioned that there would be a lot of bug activity that would have been alarming to somebody on top of the smell. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about it in theories, but it might have been a second place where they put the body.
Oh,
you know what
okay,
I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so when they examine the bones, they also don't find any clear injuries that explain what happened. There's no fractures that point to violence or a fight. There is nothing obvious that gives a time or the cause of death.
Mm-hmm.
There is a piece of taffeta cloth found in the mouth.
What is that?
Taffeta?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a type of cloth.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was something like specific that I need to know. It's like never heard of it.
So
Okay.
they find cloth and it's taffeta.
And it's in the mouth.
Yep. You got it. Good job.
Thank you.
So that suggests that maybe suffocation could have been the possible cause, but again, it's not confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
So what they've got a body in a tree with no cause of death. And then there's another observation that becomes important because the body had been placed inside a space that in a way that fit. And based on that, investigators believe the body was put there relatively soon after death, before the body would have become stiff. So it was either that it was put in right after they died, or like I said before, that it was put in as a secondary placement, but they can't tell because again, it's decomposed and also like
I feel like it makes more sense that it was a second place.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to have a lot of ideas of what happened. Yeah. And then, so you would expect somebody would come forward. They have a rough area, a rough time of the death or disappearance. They also have the clothing and there's a ring and there are remains, but nobody comes forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no confirmed identity. There's no missing person that also would match this description. So the case just sits there with a body, with a location, with details that don't quite fit together and no name until months later. This is where the story shifts again, because in Birmingham, which is the nearest major city to Hagley Wood, someone writes a message on a wall and it says, "Who put Bella down the Wych Elm?"
Oh.
Yeah. This is the first time anyone sees the name Bella.
Mm.
And that point, the question changes because now it's not about just what happened in the woods, but it's also about like who knew her name to write that. Okay, now we're going to open it up to theories. Mm-hmm. So at this point, this is where people start trying to make sense of what the hell actually happened here because we have all of these details and none of them are really point cleanly in one direction. So over the years, there have been a few main theories that people keep coming back to. The first one is probably the most grounded, we can call it that. And this comes from one woman who came forward years later and said that her husband had told her something before he died. According to her, her husband and another man had met a woman at a bar and she had gotten extremely drunk. And instead of taking her somewhere safe or getting her help, they ended up putting her inside of a tree.
What? They're like, just put her in the tree.
Just put her in the tree. I think they got drunk and trunk mixed up.
They're like, she said trunk, right? She's really trunked. No disrespect to Bella. R.I.P.
Yeah, not a normal decision. According to the story, they left her there. She never woke up. And the reason this gets any attention at all is because her husband apparently had a breakdown later in life. And some people think that it could have been because of guilt.
Oh.
That he felt guilty for leaving this woman and she died.
Mm.
How she got in the tree, because it's like whether he left her at the tree or in the tree. He sounds like he might be drunk too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like he might have like left some parts out.
Yep. A lot of issues with this. Again, this comes years after the fact. There's no physical evidence tying him to the scene, and it doesn't explain some of the biggest details because even if you believe the version of his events, it doesn't explain the hand. Why did he cut her hand off?
Yeah.
Kind of a lot of problems with some of these theories. They might explain one part of the story, but then something else doesn't quite fit.
Mm-hmm.
Another theory people bring up is that this could have been connected to World War II. And at the time, there were spies operating in England. There were secret operations happening. And there's this idea that maybe this person was involved in something like that. maybe she knew something, maybe she was a part of something, and her death was connected to some sort of like spy intelligence trading.
That sounds really cool.
Yes, the spy theories are always the coolest ones.
Like, I would watch that movie.
It definitely fits the vibe of what was going on in the world. But again, there's no direct evidence tying her to anything like that. We also don't know exactly who she was. So it's like, this could have been possible, but it's less likely that this actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the theory I think you're going to latch on to the most, is that it was the idea that it was something ritualistic or witchy.
I love that.
Yep. So, placing bodies inside of a tree, a hand removed and buried separately, the way that everything was arranged, it starts to feel intentional in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
There's also this concept called the hand of glory, which shows up in a lot of, like in a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not cult, like.
A cult.
Yeah.
Oh. C.
Not, yeah. Not like Manson. But it shows up in a lot of that. And it's where severed hands are used in rituals, or they would like take the hand and bury it. Or sometimes they would cut the hand off and make candles out of it.
Ew.
Love that.
Not my favorite kind of candle making. Do they put oil and herbs on it?
I don't know.
They put an intention on each finger.
The middle finger is just fuck off.
Keeping the bad vibes away.
So people really latch onto this because of the missing hand and because it was buried. But there are also beliefs about bodies being placed in trees because that's sometimes tied to trapping a spirit or containing something.
Oh.
So again, no proof. And some people are actually offended by this theory because it gives a darker, or it puts some of these beliefs in like a bad space where I think they're supposed to be more like lighter. I think. Don't come for me if I'm wrong, but
I mean, people probably like pull from some. And,
yeah,
you know
they're kind of like mishmash things together. But yeah, so that's the one that people like the most, though, is that it was some like ritual. But I feel like also people just like grasping onto ritualistic things that they don't understand. You know what I mean? It is one of the theories, though, that does try to account for all of the details. So it is the one that, again, people latch onto the most. And then going back to the graffiti, that's something that never really gets explained because somebody knew the name Bella. And instead of going to the police, instead of coming forward, they were like, let me just start writing on walls. And they did it over and over again. The last recorded graffiti referencing Bella in the Wych Elm was in 1999.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do you think people like just caught on to it and
I
kept
think
doing
so.
it?
Probably, but they do say that the handwriting analysis, that the graffiti was all in the same handwriting.
Oh.
But I feel like if you're a really good artist, you could probably.
Maybe, but also if it is the same person doing it over and over, I wonder if they're just trying to like scare someone into like telling the truth.
True.
And be like, I know who you did.
Yeah.
And maybe they were too scared to do it. Or it could be the actual killer and they're just psychotic. I don't know.
And then there's also a story about this woman who wrote a letter, and she wrote in saying that you're never, like she wrote to the investigators and she's like, you're never going to find the killer. It has nothing to do with witches. It has nothing to do with like this dark magic or whatever. And they were like, well, come in and tell us. And she did. But
what'd she say? Was she just not like a credible?
She basically like, the other thing that people latch on to is that it could have been somebody that was traveling through, which again, like another easy explanation, but it's never been solved. Nobody's ever come forward saying that they know who this Bella girl is. They've never been able to tie her to anything. And
it's so weird.
It's so weird.
That's really sad too.
And to be like stuffed into a tree and then just have these teenage jerks yank your skull out.
Yeah.
Fucking rude.
Rude as hell, man.
So that is why it is though called, because everybody asks, who put Bella in the Wych Elm?
That is really spooky though. Just the unsolved part of it. And like they keep writing that over and over. I'm surprised they don't make that into a movie.
I'm sure it's probably made into something.
That was a really good one. I did really like that.
Sorry, I feel like there's probably like so many more details out there, but it was just such a deep hole.
I was gonna say, because I feel like the unsolved ones usually are.
There was one about like her being a spy, like the whole spy thing.
Like going even further.
And I was like, this just seems unhinged. And then like people, and again, it's older and we weren't there, so.
Yeah, no, I loved that one. I really like those kinds of stories.
I figured you would.
I appreciate it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So this is a poltergeist story. But you're not going to leave here being super scared.
Okay, I got my crystals.
You do got your crystals.
And
you have multiple crystals?
Yeah, you gave me 2.
Oh, double protection.
Yeah.
So, in November 1967, the quiet town of Rosenheim in Bavaria was home to the law office of Sigmund Adam. It was a basic law office, desks, filing cabinets.
Tell me more.
Bunch of contracts, bunch of papers.
Sounds terrifying.
Someone's probably taking a nap somewhere. I'm just kidding. But just kidding. They're probably busy with law stuff. Anyway.
Not trying to get sued.
Don't sue me, guys. If you're still open. And also the sound of typewriters, because it's 1967. I guess that's just what they used back then.
Cool.
So at first glance, it was a perfectly ordinary workplace with no history of haunting. But that fall, strange occurrences began to unsettle the staff. Electrical equipment malfunctioned inexplicably. Phones rang endlessly with no one on the line. Phones also rang, and they weren't even plugged in.
Ew.
Lights flickered, typewriters began typing random letters, and objects moved without explanation. These disturbances quickly focused on one young secretary, 19-year-old Anne-Marie Schiberl. Anne-Marie reportedly had no history of paranormal activity at home until she stepped into work.
Oh, no.
And it was only
That's
her.
The reason you quit.
No.
What's your reason for leaving? Well, paranormal activity.
Or like getting fired. They're like, you know what? We can't with her anymore. So, the earliest incidents were subtle but noticeable. Pens rolled across the desks, chairs shifted slightly, and files disappeared from one table only to appear atop another. One clerk wrote, "A heavy binder lifted itself off my desk and fell at her feet. Anne-Marie looked as bewildered as I did." Then came the typewriter phenomena, which became the most well-known aspect of the Rosenheim poltergeist. Machines typed on their own, producing strings of letters like HFDTR is like an example. So not really just like someone's like
HFTDR.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out if there was any meaning to it because they listed 2 and the other one was LLKJY. But I think it was just typing.
How the fuck dark ramblings?
HFDTR.
How fucking dare you?
Wait, how fucking dare? What's TR?
Taylor.
No. It was not Taylor. They like me. I'm just kidding. But then, sometimes forming fragments that seemed almost intentional. HEL, but then ... LP. No. Hell or help? Or a little bit of both? I don't know.
Help. Help is scarier.
Than hell?
A little bit. I feel like hell is basic.
Like help. Yeah, hell is basic because they're like just trying to scare you at that point.
Think of something scarier. Or just
be original. On one day, 3 separate typewriters began typing simultaneously across different desks, creating what they said was a tapping crescendo.
This is a productive ass poltergeist.
No, it like gets worse.
How many words per minute do you think?
No. Imagine like typewriters were new and they're like, I love this. And they're just like typing like crazy.
They're just excited by the technology.
Wow, guys, this is new.
They're just learning to spell.
Just imagine there's one there and he's like, come on, guys, look. And he just does it again. And they're like, I don't know. It's just not making any sense. They're just typing random letters.
They're like, it's terrifying. He's like, I was just trying to tell a
They're
joke.
not even paying attention to the people being like, ah. But I was dying because they called it a chaotic symphony. Imagine though being at work and that's just happening. They're like, there go the typewriters again.
I'd be like sliding my work over to be like, they seem to be
busy. Like, once you learn to actually type, can you actually take care of those?
Yeah.
Can you make yourself useful? Thank you.
Much appreciated.
One person wrote, the keys struck with force and speed beyond that of a human hand. We measured the force. It was uneven, erratic, and appeared independent of any operator. When Anne-Marie left the room, the typewriter stopped immediately. On several occasions, if an observer spoke to a typewriter asking it to stop or say something, the typing would pause briefly or alter speed, giving the impression that the activity was reactive and almost intelligent. Like they're like actually being kind of polite and they're like, what? And then once they're done, they're like,
I thought it was almost like annoyed. Like, I'm sorry.
Like I was in the middle of something?
Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah. I'm sorry, could you get back to work, please?
I know. Like, sir, I'm doing my job.
Am I the
what
only
are you
one working
doing?
here?
He's like, none of these people are working. They're all watching me right now.
Yeah. Like, why are you so obsessed with me?
I'm just a ghost. Other phenomena escalated alongside the typewriters. Objects flew across the rooms, filing cabinets slid open, chairs toppled over, and then the phones malfunctioning. The office phones repeatedly dialed the time announcement number, which was 0119, which I'm assuming, I don't know if it just announces the time. I didn't look into it because I feel like it was kind of self-explanatory. Time announcement number.
Yeah.
So it would automatically dial that number 4 to 5 times a minute.
Because it's trying to get out of work.
It's like, what time is it? What time is it? What time is it?
Time to go home.
He's like, is it almost 5 o'clock? And on some days, up to 40 to 50 times in a row. Oh no, the time announcement was some days up to 40 to 50 times in a row. And then one day, a 9-digit Munich number was dialed 4 times simultaneously. So kind of weird, because if you think about like the phones in 1967, I feel like it's not like, I mean, I don't think they have the, like, you know, the phones in the 90s where you could dial something and it'd dial the last number?
Yeah.
So
just redial.
Yeah. I swear there was something you pressed, but I don't know. Girl, it's been a while.
Okay. Okay. We can move on.
Lights didn't just flicker. In one documented session, a lamp exploded the moment Anne-Marie entered the room. Circuits and outlets were functioning normally beforehand, suggesting a different correlation between her presence and sudden energy surges. A copy machine began developing fluid and spilling everywhere on its own, and pictures were reported rotating up to 360 degrees or falling off their hooks. Which I feel like that's the first thing that finally well, not the first thing, but that's more like poltergeisty kind of activity. Like once you start turning those picture frames,
I don't like
we out.
Yeah. The other stuff, again, just like hyper productive, like personality. Mm-hmm. Picture frames, I don't fuck around with that. That's terrifying.
Productive. You're like, listen, I can relate to that.
Yeah,
like that ghost is me.
Yeah. I like that Anne-Marie isn't a personality hire. She's a poltergeist hire.
She is. She brought a bunch of her own workers in there. Staff reported being touched or pushed by unseen hands, and whispers, soft, urgent, and distinctly female, were heard in empty offices.
It's just Anne-Marie, like behind them.
She's like, dang, this is so easy to scare these guys.
They'll fall for anything.
She's all like hiding and just grabs him on the shoulder really quick.
She's just whispering.
Best prank of all time. So one worker said, I felt a hand grip my shoulder, but when I turned, no one was there. The room felt charged, almost like static, and the hairs on my arms stood on End. Spooky. The case drew professional attention from electricians, engineers, parapsychologists, including specifically Hans Bender and physicist Friedbert Karger and Gerhard Zika.
Heard of him.
Friedbert. Love it.
I had Bob Farmer and you had that name.
And I had Friedbert. So they all came in and they documented the disturbances, their measurements of voltage fluctuations, magnetic fields, and energy surges confirmed anomalous activity beyond normal electrical interference. Investigators described the events as being caused by intelligently controlled forces that seem to evade examination. And I feel like that's a really fancy way of just being like ghosts.
Yeah. Intelligently controlled forces.
Just say you believe in ghosts.
Yeah, just admit it.
And they said suggesting the poltergeist exhibited purposeful reactive behavior. I'm like, what was the purpose though? They're just here to fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
Investigators conducted carefully controlled experiments. Anne-Marie would enter the office while observers monitored objects and typewriters. The moment she stepped inside, typewriters pounded keys, chairs slid, small objects levitated, and lights fluctuated. When she left, everything immediately fell silent. So really weird, though.
Yeah.
And then all these people are like conducting the experiments.
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Circuits, outlets, and lamps were carefully observed. The lamp explosion coincided precisely with her movement, emphasizing a correlation between her presence and energy surges. And they checked all the equipment like beforehand, and it was acting normal. So.
I imagine she's a redhead.
She might be.
I just feel
Actually, she's a brunette.
Oh.
I forgot I saw a picture of her. It was black and white, though, so it could have been a dark red. Anyway, multiple objects moved independently at the same time. A typewriter even jumped off the desk, narrowly missing a witness. One journalist wrote, "It was impossible to believe it was a coincidence. The objects reacted to her as if animated by a will we could not see." I love how they're still like, it's not a coincidence.
I was just going to say, like, once again, just say ghost.
They're like getting hit in the head with a typewriter. Yeah. They're like, it's definitely not a coincidence. Yeah. Each session was logged, photographed, and recorded. Disturbances occurred only when Anne-Marie was present, and attempts to replicate them with like trickery, like using a different person, like maybe like dressing up like her or something, failed.
They know.
The ghosts are like, are you kidding me right now?
You think we're stupid?
Okay, we see you.
They hit him extra hard with a typewriter.
All the typewriters just start going. You thought it was a symphony before? I'll show you a orchestra. You messed with the wrong poltergeist.
You think I'm a polter punk?
You polter bitch. Sorry, Norman.
He likes it.
Anyway, parapsychologists later speculated that Anne-Marie's poltergeist activity may have been linked to emotional tension, including a recent broken engagement and frustrations at work, which could have triggered psychokinetic energy manifesting in that phenomena.
I like frustrations at work, and she's just raising hell, literally.
They're like, yeah, it was just her mental state. I don't know. Logical.
Yeah. Those women, always emotional, raising poltergeists.
They're like, she's probably on her period. Our periods are just poltergeists. Can you imagine?
I would love that so much. Honestly, I feel like it would make me feel better.
Me too. It's just a different being. So throughout the ordeal, Anne-Marie remained distressed, but she was like, they describe her as like, what?
She remains distressed through this like constant insanity. Of course she does.
But they say she remains distressed but calm.
Oh, okay.
So she's more like, she's like aware it's happening and she doesn't like that it's happening, but she's like, all the other people around her are like flipping out. And she's kind of just like, which is why I like Googled before. I'm like, did she deal with paranormal activity before? Like, was it something new to her? Has she experienced it? And said she never did. So
wild.
I know. Go Anne Marie, because I'd be flipping out. So there's a quote from her saying, "It feels like the room is alive. I hear things when no one is there, and sometimes objects move in front of me. I try to ignore it, but it's impossible."
Did it only happen at the office?
Only. So it's like a big building, and it's only that specific
space.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So weird.
That's crazy.
Eventually, management reassigned her to a different department with the firm, removing her from the epicenter of activity. Once relocated, the intense poltergeist activity stopped almost immediately. There were like a little bit of lingering energy after she left, like flickering lights and small object movements, but then it just like kind of like went away. Anne Marie reportedly felt relieved, but she felt uneasy still. I think just knowing that it was like tied to her was like a little bit like, why me?
Yeah.
Which obviously, like if something's like throwing shit around an office.
I'd be like, you guys are the problem? Because like if it's only happening here, this seems to be a you guys issue, not a me issue.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like someone needed to tell her that. Because I feel like reading it almost made me feel like she felt responsible and kind of guilty about it. Yeah. So maybe that's why she had that calm demeanor, but was like in her mind like, what's happening?
She's almost like embarrassed, like I'm so sorry for my poltergeist.
So sorry for my poltergeist activity.
It's not your fault, Anne Marie.
You're good, Anne Marie. I want to show you a picture after this too. Okay. And I'm almost done. The Rosenheim poltergeist remains one of Europe's most thoroughly documented cases, combining eyewitness testimony, repeatable physical phenomena, professional scientific observation, and documentation, creating a chilling narrative of an ordinary office transformed into a reactive, unpredictable stage for the unexplained. Yeah, so that's the story of the Rosenheim poltergeist.
I loved that.
Imagine being like, coming home from work though, and you're like, you would not believe.
You wouldn't believe the day I had.
There was typewriters just typing away. Hold on, I'm going to show you. That would, I don't know. That would be insane.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it was like a reenactment type thing.
Probably.
But yeah, so that was her. Thought you'd like that story.
I did. I liked it a lot.
Yay. So anyway, that wraps up our episode for today.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to send us any scary stories, you can send it to
igsttystories@gmail.com.
Or you can follow us on social media or send us a DM or a comment.
At IGSTTYpod. And we're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of the things. Oh, we're on Meetup too. If you guys want to follow any of the events that we have going on, we post them on there.
We do, and you can RSVP.
Or you don't have to, just show up.
Yeah, you don't have to RSVP. You can just show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just said.
Let me just repeat exactly what Colleen just said. It's anyway, I have one more thing.
Okay.
Can you guys rate us and review us? We have a lot of new listeners and we appreciate it so much for listening to our episodes, but rating helps a lot.
It does.
So just throwing it out there.
Please.
Just a quick little 5-star.
Just do it.
Okay, well, thank you for listening.
Later.